I need you to listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is not ordinary. Something happened that even I wasn't ready for, and when I found out, I sat in silence for a moment, thinking about you, thinking about how shocked you would be if you knew. I don't know how to say this gently, so I'll just say it the way it came to me. A celebrity, a well-known public figure, someone whose name you would recognize instantly, talked about you in a confidential meeting. I know that sounds impossible. I know it sounds unbelievable, but that's why I need you to listen with your heart, not your doubts, because everything I'm saying right now is more real than you think. When I first heard it, I didn't react. I just sat there with this strange feeling in my chest, like something big had just shifted in your life without you even knowing. And the first thing I thought was, how do I tell her this without scaring her? How do I make her understand that something powerful has begun? Because I don't want you to think this is just a dramatic story. It's not. It's a moment, a turning point, and you deserve to know that your name is being spoken in rooms you've never walked into. I don't think you understand how special you truly are. You wake up every day thinking you're an ordinary woman, just living your life, just trying to be strong, just trying to give your best. You don't realize how your energy reaches people without effort. You don't realize how your presence stays in someone's mind long after the conversation ends. You don't realize how your heart leaves fingerprints on people's spirit. And now, someone important has noticed it too. Someone who holds influence. Someone who doesn't give attention easily. Someone who usually keeps emotions cold and business focused. But when your name came up, they reacted differently. I imagine you listening right now with your eyes slightly widened, your heart beating a little faster, wondering why someone like that would talk about someone like you. And that confusion is exactly why I had to speak gently. Because you never give yourself enough credit. You're the kind of woman who cares deeply, but hides the depth of her feelings. You're the kind of woman who loves with real loyalty, but rarely gets that loyalty back. You're the kind of woman who gives quietly and never demands anything in return. And the world doesn't forget people like that. So let me tell you what I heard. This celebrity, someone with a large platform, someone with power, someone who doesn't talk casually, mentioned that you have something rare, something that they can't ignore, something in the way you carry yourself, something in the softness of your presence, something in the way you still remain gentle even after everything you've been through. And when they spoke about you, it wasn't like normal conversation. It was serious, focused, intentional. They were discussing a plan, a move, something involving you that would change your life completely if you knew what it was. When I heard that, I felt this deep pull inside me. I felt like I needed to reach out to you immediately and prepare your heart for what is coming. Because you may think nothing in your life is changing, but something already has. This meeting, this conversation, this plan, it has already been set in motion, and sooner or later you are going to feel the effects of it. I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer it silently in your heart. Have you been feeling strange emotions lately, like something big is coming? Like your heart is preparing itself for a shift, like life is getting ready to open a new chapter for you. Because if you've been feeling that, then it's not random. You are picking up what your mind doesn't fully understand yet. Let me tell you another thing that struck me. While this celebrity was talking about you, their tone was different. It wasn't casual. It wasn't polite. It was emotional. You touched them in a way you didn't realize. You changed something in them without trying. And now they are thinking about you when you're not present. They're planning with you in mind. They're making decisions that might bring you closer to something you never thought possible. And I know your heart is reacting right now. I can feel it in the silence between us. I can feel the way your breath changed. I can feel the way your thoughts are racing, because deep inside, you always knew you were meant for something bigger than the life you've been living. You just never had anyone confirm it for you. Well, this is your confirmation. I wish you could see yourself the way someone else just saw you, not as a regular woman, but as someone unforgettable. Someone worth risking something for. Someone worth talking about behind closed doors. Someone who has an effect without trying. And the best part is, you didn't have to become someone else to earn that attention. You just had to be yourself. Now I want you to stay with me in this moment and breathe. Feel what is happening inside your chest. This isn't excitement. This is awakening. Your life is moving. Your story is shifting. Someone important has already taken the first step toward you. And the next time you hear news, or feel a change, or receive a message that surprises you, maybe you'll remember this moment. I'm not ending this here. I'm staying with you because there is still more you need to know, and your heart isn't ready to hear all of it at once. When I heard the full details of that confidential meeting, I felt my hands go still. I didn't move. I just sat there thinking about you, imagining the look on your face if you had been in that room, hearing your name in a place you never walked into, spoken by someone you never expected. And I thought to myself, she has no idea how far her presence reaches. She has no idea how deeply someone has noticed her. And the more I listened, the more serious the atmosphere became. This wasn't a random mention. This wasn't a polite compliment. This was planning. This was strategy. This was personal. They weren't talking about your looks. They weren't talking about your routine. They were talking about your energy, your heart, the way you carry yourself with a calm strength, the way you love quietly but powerfully. They were speaking about the effect you have without saying much. And I realized something in that moment. Your silence is louder than most people's voices. Your softness is stronger than other people's hardness. You leave a mark without trying. And someone finally saw that. I wish you could have seen the expression on their face when your name was spoken. There was something in their eyes. Something real. Something emotional. Something they didn't want to show too openly. It was the look of someone who has been holding back feelings longer than they are willing to admit. The kind of look a person gets when they are trying to stay calm while their heart is moving faster than their voice. And I thought, if she could see this, she would never doubt her value again. And I need you to hear this part. Slowly. You are not someone who goes unnoticed. You might feel like you are just existing, just living your life quietly, just trying to make it through each day. But even when you think no one is watching, someone is paying attention to the way you speak, the way you respond, the way you always choose kindness, even when life hasn't always been kind to you. Someone is affected by the way you move through your challenges without making them anyone else's burden. Someone is inspired by your strength, not the loud strength people pretend to have, but the quiet strength that comes from surviving what others don't know about. And that is why this meeting happened. Your name didn't show up there by accident. Your presence reached somewhere long before you even knew it. I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer it only in your heart. Have you ever felt like your life was waiting for something? Like something was getting ready behind the scenes, but you didn't know what? Like you were standing in a hallway, waiting for a door to finally open. Because what I heard felt like that exact door beginning to unlock. And I can feel that your spirit is sensing it too. Something is preparing itself for you. While they were discussing you, there was a moment where the room fell quiet. Not the uncomfortable kind of silence, the heavy kind, the meaningful kind, the kind that says, this is important. And the person leading the conversation looked at the others as if saying, "This is not a joke anymore. We need to make a move." And I realized something very profound. When someone talks about you in a confidential meeting, especially with that level of seriousness, your life is already changing. Before you realize it, you might feel a little overwhelmed hearing this. Your heart might be racing a bit. Your hands might feel warm. Your mind might be saying, "Why me?" But your soul knows the answer. Because you were never ordinary. You were just humble enough to believe you were. And humility is beautiful. But today I need you to step out of self-doubt long enough to understand something clearly. You are being chosen. I wish I could tell you every detail of what was said, but some things can't be spoken all at once. Some truths need time to settle in the heart. But I can tell you this. There was planning. Serious planning. There was discussion about timing, about opportunity, about how to approach you, about what would happen when the world finds out. This wasn't just interest. This was intention. Someone is preparing to step forward in a way that will change how you see yourself forever. I know what you're thinking right now. You're asking yourself, what did I do to deserve this kind of attention? And that is exactly the beauty of this moment. You didn't have to change yourself. You didn't have to act different. You didn't have to chase anything. You didn't have to force destiny. You just had to exist, quietly, softly, sincerely. And someone noticed something rare in you. You know what shocks me? You don't even realize how unforgettable you are. You think your emotions are simple, but the way you feel things is not simple at all. You feel deeply. You care fully. You love with commitment. Even when you don't receive the same in return, you are not half-hearted. You are the type of woman someone remembers long after they leave the room. And maybe that is why this celebrity found themselves thinking about you even when they were busy, even when their schedule was full, even when the world was looking at them, expecting them to stay strong and guarded. Your softness breached someone's defenses. Your spirit touched someone's soul, and now their life has already started moving toward yours, even if you don't see the signs yet. I want to tell you something else, and I need you to listen quietly inside your heart. When someone in a position of power talks about you with emotion, it means they are not in control anymore. Their feelings overtook their decisions. Their heart spoke louder than their plans. And that is exactly what I felt in that meeting. Someone's heart is not on their side anymore. It is moving toward you. Maybe right now you are imagining who it could be. Maybe images are flashing in your mind of faces you've seen. Maybe you are trying to connect dots. And I won't tell you to stop, because your intuition is sharper than you think. You already feel the direction life is pointing you toward. You already have an idea of who has been holding back emotions. You already sense the truth. You just haven't allowed yourself to believe it yet. But one day soon, you won't be able to ignore it anymore. Something is coming, something big. Something that will not ask permission before entering your life. Something that will show you why your heart had to wait this long. Something that will make you look back and realize that everything you thought was delaying you was actually preparing you. I know I'm saying a lot, and your emotions might be soft and loud at the same time right now. But I'm still not ending this. I'm not walking away from the moment. I'm here speaking gently, staying connected with your heartbeat, because there is still more you are meant to understand. I don't think you understand how serious this moment has become, and as I sit here continuing this story, I can still feel that strange mix of excitement and fear in my chest, because everything that happened in that meeting, everything that was said about you, it hasn't ended. It only got deeper. And the way your name kept coming up again and again made me realize something important. Someone out there is watching you, noticing you, admiring you, and planning something that could change everything. And I know you might be asking in your heart right now, why would a celebrity even talk about someone like me? Why would someone with fame, power, or influence care about me? And the truth is simple, because you are unforgettable. And in that room, in that secret meeting, I saw it with my own eyes. I wish you could have felt what I felt. Sitting at that table, listening to people with big names talk about her, talk about you, like you were some precious secret they weren't sure the world deserved yet. I kept thinking, if only you were there, if only you heard your name spoken with that kind of admiration, that kind of seriousness, that kind of desire. I wanted to stop the meeting, pick up the phone, and tell you immediately. But I stayed quiet because I wanted to hear everything. And as I listened, something changed inside me. I realized you are not just special to me, you are special to the world, even if the world hasn't fully discovered you yet. Let me be honest. The room felt different the moment your name was mentioned. People sat straighter, eyes focused. Phones went silent. The conversation shifted, like someone had just mentioned something priceless, rare, and irreplaceable. And I just sat there, hoping they wouldn't see the way my heart reacted every time they talked about you. I didn't want them to know how close I am to you, how deeply connected I feel to you, how much I care about you. Because in that moment, I realized I wasn't the only one who noticed you. You have more eyes on you than you think. And some of them aren't ordinary people. Some of them are names you've heard before, names you've admired, names millions admire. And I know you, right now, you might be feeling confused. You might be thinking, what did I do? I'm just watching videos, listening, living my life. But that's what makes you different. You don't even realize the impact you leave. You don't behave like someone trying to impress the world, yet the world is impressed. You don't try to shine, yet you shine naturally. You don't walk into a room demanding attention, yet attention follows you quietly, consistently, deeply. And that is exactly why you were brought up in that meeting. But here's the part that still shocks me. One of those celebrities didn't just talk about you. They are planning something. And when I heard it, I felt my whole body react. Because I wasn't ready for the idea that someone else might step into your life before me. Someone else with influence and power might reach out to you, surprise you, maybe even try to claim you before I could. And I'm not saying that in a controlling way. I'm saying that in a fear of losing you way. Because losing someone like you isn't like losing a fan, or a follower, or a viewer. It feels like losing someone precious, someone personal, someone irreplaceable. I want you to imagine something. You wake up one morning, you check your phone, and you see a message from a name you never expected, a name hundreds of thousands or millions recognize, a name that has fans and fame, and they are reaching out to you because of the meeting that happened, because of the reaction your presence created, because they want to meet you, talk to you, maybe even bring you into their world. And I don't know how you would feel, excited, overwhelmed, shocked, or speechless. But I know how I would feel. I would feel this sudden fear that maybe I waited too long to tell you what you mean to me. Maybe I took too long to express what you truly deserve to hear. Maybe I assumed I had more time. And now someone else is already moving closer. And I don't want you to think I'm inventing stories or exaggerating emotions. I am speaking with the same honesty I always talk to you with. Because from the day you came into my audience, something about you stood out. Something about the way you listen, the way you respond, the way you carry your heart in silence. You didn't scream for attention, yet attention found you, and sitting in that meeting, listening to your name being taken seriously by people who could have been discussing movies, contracts, businesses, or huge deals, but instead talked about you, I realized that your presence is bigger than you think. There was a moment, right in the middle of that discussion, where someone leaned forward and said something I haven't forgotten since. She doesn't even know her value yet. And that hit me deeply, because it's true. You don't see yourself the way others see you. You don't see the power in your quiet presence. You don't see the effect you create without trying. You don't see the softness that makes people keep coming back. You don't see the emotional connection you build without loud words or noise. And maybe that's why you are so captivating. And while they were talking, I kept hearing the same question inside me. What if she is already meant to be something greater than she realizes? What if the world is preparing for her before she even walks onto the stage? What if I'm not the only one who sees her future? And if others already see it, and they're preparing things behind the scenes, then I cannot stay silent anymore. I need you to know what's happening, because you deserve to know, and I need you to hear it from me, not from someone else first. Let me add something that will make you realize how deeply you're being watched. Right after the meeting ended, one of the people involved made a call. I didn't hear the full conversation, but I caught one line clearly. Book it will prepare everything. And in my heart, I knew it was about you. Something is already in motion. Something is being prepared in silence. Something is being arranged with your name attached to it. And the world hasn't seen it yet, but it will. And here's the part that creates a knot in my chest, even now. I am afraid that by the time you realize how wanted you are, how admired you are, how noticed you are, someone else might already be the one standing in front of you, offering something big. And I don't want to lose the chance to tell you how I feel before that moment comes. Let me be real. You may see yourself as an ordinary woman, but the world sees something extraordinary. You may think you're just listening quietly, but someone important is already watching. And while that should excite you, it also scares me, because I don't want to lose my place in your story. I don't want to stand in the back while someone with a brighter spotlight steps forward and tries to claim you. I wish I could look into your eyes right now and ask you one question that's been burning in my chest. When that big moment comes, when someone famous reaches out to you, will you still remember me, or will I be just another voice you once listened to? Because while the world might see you as promising, rising, rare, I don't see you as a future opportunity. I see you as a present miracle. You are not someone I want later. You are someone I feel connected to now. And I don't want this connection to get lost in the noise of bigger names and louder voices. And I know the story right now is hanging in the air, heavy, emotional, uncertain, because we are in that moment where anything can happen next. You might be days away from hearing something that changes your journey. You might be one message away from a future you never imagined. And I'm one heartbeat away from telling you everything I feel before the world tries to take that chance away from me. So stay close. Don't disconnect, because the story is not ending. It's only becoming more intense, more real, more unpredictable, and I still have more to tell you. Much more. I don't think you realize how much courage it takes for me to continue this confession, but I need to finish this part of the story with the same honesty that I started. Because now we are standing in that emotional space where everything feels possible. Something big is coming toward you. Someone important is already moving in your direction, and I feel like I am standing here fighting time, fighting destiny, fighting the fear of losing you before I ever truly told you everything. So before that moment arrives, before that unexpected message reaches your phone, before that world-changing opportunity shows up at your doorstep, I need to speak from my heart. Softly, slowly, truthfully, like I'm sitting in front of you and telling you something I should have said earlier. I keep thinking about that meeting and what happened after it ended. Everyone walked out confidently, phones in hand, schedules changing, plans forming, and all I could think about was you. And when I left the meeting room, I didn't feel relief. I felt pressure, because they already made their move. They already called someone. They already booked something for you. And I'm still here trying to catch up with my own feelings. It hit me hard that I might lose the chance to be the one who tells you what you deserve to hear first. That you are worth planning for, worth noticing, worth fighting for, worth admiring, worth choosing. And I need you to understand. I never wanted to rush you. I always thought I had time. I believed that someday, when you were ready, I would speak gently and slowly, building this connection the way two hearts should, naturally, quietly, beautifully. But life doesn't always wait for the perfect moment. Sometimes life pushes things forward before our emotions are fully prepared. And now a door is opening for you. And I don't want to stand there silently and watch someone else walk through it before I even reach it. Because the truth is, there is something about you that no one can copy, no one can replace, no one can duplicate. I noticed it from the moment you became part of my world. The way you listen, the way you respond without trying to impress, the way you feel emotions deeply even when you don't express them loudly, that is something rare. And that rare quality is exactly what those people saw in you too. They saw value in you before you even realized you had value in their eyes. But while they saw opportunity, I saw something more. I saw someone who feels like home. Someone who makes me speak differently, think differently, feel differently. Someone who makes me care in a way that is not normal. Someone who makes me afraid of losing something I've never even fully had. And that fear, it has been growing since that meeting ended. I keep replaying the same scene in my head. You waking up one morning, and before you even brush your hair or make your tea, you pick up your phone and see the notification. Someone famous messaging you. Someone everyone else knows. Someone everyone else admires. Someone the world pays attention to. And I imagine your shock, your disbelief, your heart racing. I imagine you sitting there staring at the screen thinking, is this real? Why me? How did this happen? And you deserve that moment. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be recognized. You deserve to have your worth acknowledged. But the part that scares me is wondering whether when that moment comes, you will remember that before any room discussed your name, before any famous person noticed your presence, I was here quietly feeling a connection that I haven't felt with anyone in a long time. It's strange, isn't it? How someone can walk into your life silently, without introduction, without warning, and suddenly they matter more than people you've known for years. And you did that. And I can't explain why. I can't explain how. But I know the feeling is real. Sometimes late at night I sit and wonder, did I tell you enough? Did I show you how deeply I admire you? Did I express how much I value the way you listen, the way you think, the way you exist? Or did I assume we had time, and now time is running faster than I expected? Because when I was walking away from that meeting, I had this strange realization, your life may change before you even prepare for it. And I don't want to be the person standing behind the crowd watching someone else take the place. I wish I had courage to claim sooner. I want to ask you something quietly, honestly, like I would ask if we were sitting together and no one else was listening. If someone powerful steps forward to choose you, will you still think about the one who spoke to you from the heart before the world discovered you? Because I am not offering you fame or recognition. I'm offering something more human. Presence, loyalty, emotional connection. Someone who sees you beyond your appearance, beyond your voice, beyond your online existence. Someone who sees you as a woman with a heart worth protecting, a soul worth understanding, a presence worth holding on to. And maybe you don't realize how rare that is. Most people are noticed for what they can give, but you are noticed simply for who you are. And that is a kind of beauty the world doesn't see often. I keep remembering something someone said in the room. She isn't fully aware of her potential yet. And that sentence keeps echoing inside me, because it's true. You don't know how powerful you are. You don't know how deep your presence reaches. You don't know how much your existence affects others. And maybe that innocence is what makes you extraordinary. But I want you to hear something directly from me, before that big moment arrives, before that opportunity becomes real, before your life opens into a new direction. You deserve someone in your corner who isn't looking at you as a career move, a public image, or a future investment. You deserve someone who sees you as the person you are when the world is quiet and the lights are off. Soft, real, emotional, beautifully human. And that is why I am here confessing everything now. Not because I am afraid of losing you to someone better, but because I am afraid of never telling you how much you matter before the moment passes. I want you to remember something, even if the world tries to claim you, even if someone famous steps into your story, even if your life changes in ways you haven't imagined yet. I will still be right here, connected to you in a way that has nothing to do with popularity or attention. My connection to you started before any meeting, before any planning, before any powerful person took notice. It started the moment you walked into my world. And no matter what happens next, no matter how big the surprise is, no matter whose name appears on your screen in the coming days, this story between us is not ending here. It's only reaching the point where things become even more intense, more emotional, and more real. And deep inside you, I know you feel it too.